my Doctor Who DVD collection.
Is Captain Jack Harkness the face of both?
Hello and welcome to WhoTube Gallifrey 02. In this video I'm going to be doing my long-awaited review on Classic Doctors New Monsters Volume 1, which I did promise way back on Christmas Day 2016, so sorry about the delay. This is my first ever Doctor Who CD review, so hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be reviewing all 4 stories in this set, which feature classic Doctors and new monsters, sort of. And yeah, should be good. So it's going to be split into 4 parts. The first part I'm going to review Fallen Angels, second part Juddon In Chains, third part Harvest of the Sycorax, and fourth part the Sontaran Ordeal. But before we do that, let's just take a look at the actual box set in general. So we have Peter Davison, Clin Baker, Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann in Doctor Who Classic Doctors New Monsters Volume 1. Then we have Big Finish, logo there, brand new adventures, full cast audio drama. Then we have Peter Davison with a Weeping Angel, Clin Baker with a Juddon, Sylvester McCoy with a Sycorax, and Paul McGann with a Sontaran, which is not, well, it's both actually. It's a new monster and a classic monster, but I suppose it is a new design, so yeah, I can let them off with that. And yeah, I love the rain in the background of there, just really makes it look nicer. Then on the top we do have a Weeping Angel, a Juddon, a Sycorax, and a Sontaran. Then Doctor Who Classic Doctors New Monsters. Spine, same again, we have Doctor Who Classic Doctors New Monsters. Then we have the monsters, then we have Volume 1, then Big Finish. On the back we have like a little blurb, not telling you the plots of all the things. So yeah, Classic Doctors New Monsters Volume 1. Then we do have Fallen Angels by Phil Morrill, I think that is, starring Peter Davison. Juddon In Chains by Simon Barnyard and Paul Morris, starring Clin Baker. Harvest of the Sycorax by James Goss, starring Sylvester McCoy, and the Sontaran Ordeal by Andrew Smith, starring Paul McGann. Then we do have the Big Finish logo there. Then finally, on the base, we have all the legal stuff. So yeah, now reviewing Fallen Angels. So yeah, Fallen Angels, my favourite out of this set. So first I'm going to be taking a look at the CD in general, then I'm going to be reviewing the story. So yes, we have Peter Davison there, and we have Doctor Who Classic Doctors New Monsters, Fallen Angels, then we have who else it stars there. Then we do have a picture of Michelangelo, don't know how you pronounce that, well, kind of do. Then we have a Weeping Angel there, Peter Davison there, then in the background we have Roman buildings. Spine, Doctor Who Fallen Angels. Then on the back we do have a plot summary, if you would like to pause that, if you can see it. So yeah, there's the cast. Yeah, just having a quick look inside now. So yeah, we have the disc here with a little booklet, changeable cover. Then inside we do have some notes about the actual Big Finish story, and there is the cast. And yeah, that is Wallace from An Adventure in Time and Space. He plays the man of the young couple who gets zapped back in time by the Weeping Angels. So yeah, that's the CD out of the way. Now on to the review. So starting with the plot. So the plot of Fallen Angels. So a young couple in 2015 on a honeymoon in Rome. They go to this old chapel, and there they find a mysterious man. And in the chapel or the church, there is a Weeping Angel. The lights go out, well, the candle goes out, and then they get zapped back in time by this Weeping Angel. They go to the 1500s, there they can't find each other, they eventually find each other, but the Doctor turns up as he's tracking down some time energy. So yeah, the Doctor discovers that some Weeping Angels are on the loose, as an asteroid hit Rome way before it was built, and now these angels are escaping into the streets of Rome. So yeah, he teams up with this young couple who got zapped back in time. They meet Michelangelo, who is painting this thing, who is creating the artwork at the top of the church, which plays a very important part in this story, as that predicts the Weeping Angels, as it wasn't finished in 2015, and yeah, that was because of the Weeping Angels. So they stopped the Weeping Angels by getting mirrors and putting them in so they see each other and can never move again. But with all the time stuff, the Doctor can sadly not bring the young couple home to 2015. So yeah, that is the plot summary of Fallen Angels. If you want a clearer plot summary, if you thought it was a bit complicated, you can go on Doctor Who Wikia, where there will be probably a better plot summary, because I'm not good at summarising plots. So yeah, Fallen Angels, I personally think it is a very good audio, a definite 9.5 out of 10. So yeah, now on to positives of Fallen Angels. Well, I just think the scenery in this story is very good. I know I can't see the scenery, but this story, when you imagine it, it's just so visually imaginative. It's just amazing. I think Fallen Angels very good and very imaginative. I love the scenery in this story. Weeping Angels, I think they work excellently. Is that a word? In audio form, absolutely excellent. You think Weeping Angels wouldn't work well in audio format, but they do. They are perfected very well indeed. Another positive, love the Fifth Doctor facing the Weeping Angels, absolutely brilliant. Like the characters as well, they're very good, and yeah, quite upsetting of what happens to them as they have to stay in the 1500s, but at least they get a happy ever after, which is good, I suppose, but they don't get to go back to their own time, which is bad. So yeah, positives, quite a few more. I like, well, obviously the scenery, but I also like the atmosphere of this story. The musical score is very good as well. I love the musical score for classic Doctor's New Monsters. I think it is a very good musical score, very well produced. Don't know if it's by Murray Gold, who does normal Doctor Who, but it might be. So yeah, well done Murray Gold if you did the musical stuff on this. It might actually say on the back. No, it doesn't. So yeah, that's positives out of the way. Now on to negatives. Now, there aren't many negatives with Fallen Angels. I just think the ending is a bit ripped off compared to the Angels Take Manhattan, as they have to stay back in time and live to death. Basically, that's what happened in the 2012 story, The Angels Take Manhattan. So that's a bit of a rip-off, but I think it's an original story, and personally I think it is very good. Not many other negatives, apart from they don't get a happy ever after, or they do, kind of, but not really any proper negatives. So yeah, I would rate Fallen Angels a 9.5 out of 10. I would strongly recommend listening to Fallen Angels. And yeah, if you are priced on Classic Doctor's New Monsters, it was originally £20, but now it is £35 from bigfinish.com. I'm sure you can get cheaper, or you can download it for about £30, I think. So yeah, if you're not bothered about the box, if you're not a collector. So yeah, that's Fallen Angels. Now moving on to Juddon In Chains. So yeah, on to the second audio from Classic Doctor's New Monsters, Juddon In Chains. So first I'm going to look at the CD in general, then I'm going to give you my personal opinion. So Doctor Who, Classic Doctor's New Monsters, Juddon In Chains, Clin Baker, then there's everyone else who it stars. Then here we do have Clin Baker, a Juddon, then we do have some chains, as the story is called, Juddon In Chains. A lot more detail on this cover compared to Fallen Angels. Then we have some Juddon ships here. We have the courtroom there on the surface of Mars, and all the lightning taking the courtroom up to Mars. Then in the background we also have some circus stuff as well. Fallen Angels, Juddon In Chains. Then on the back, here's the plot summary if you want to have a pause. Then here is the cast. And yeah, just taking a quick look inside, we've got the disc here. Then we have the reversible cover here. Then we do have the notes, and there is the cast. So yeah, now onto the actual review of Juddon In Chains. So Juddon In Chains. So the Doctor, well, this Juddon lands on this planet, which is customized by this corporation called the Genesis Corporation, who customize planets if people want to buy them, so you can add an ocean, a desert, whatever you want to this planet. A Juddon lands there, it deserts its post as its ship crashes. The Juddon dislike Captain Kaibo for this. The Doctor picks up Captain Kaibo, even though he didn't commit desertion, they just thought he committed desertion. Accidentally takes him to Victorian London. Captain Kaibo escapes. Captain Kaibo is hired to be in a circus freak show where he is shown off. People can wrestle him. If you win the wrestling match, you win an amount of money. The Doctor talks one of the circus managers to get Captain Kaibo out of there, but they think the Sixth Doctor is a clown because he wears the clothes. So yeah, he's also captured. They eventually get out. The Juddon are looking for Captain Kaibo. They go away. Then the Doctor takes Captain Kaibo to a court where the Doctor can prove his innocence. The Juddon take the court to Mars. So Captain Kaibo is then put on trial and yeah, is found not guilty of desertion. Don't know why they take it to Mars rather than the Moon. A lot much further away than the Moon, but I don't know what the Juddon were up to. But I think Mars is a very good setting, and yeah, also a rip-off of Smith and Jones, this, and Trial of a Time Lord, kind of. So yeah, the Doctor is presenting evidence for Captain Kaibo's defence. The Doctor is his defence lawyer. And yeah, it all takes place in a circular narrative, as at the beginning the Doctor is giving evidence, then he tells the story of what happens. So yeah, that is the plot of Juddon In Chains. Again, if you want a simpler summary, please go to TARDIS Wikia. So yeah, Juddon In Chains. Positives of Juddon In Chains. Well, I think it is very historically accurate. I think it would be what it was like if a rhino went back in time. I think that's what they would do to a talking rhino. I like that about this story. I like the fact that the courtroom is on Mars rather than a hospital on the Moon. Yes, it is a rip-off to Smith and Jones, but I just think it's a good variant of that idea. Juddon, excellent. Clin Baker's performance in pretty much every Big Finish is absolutely amazing, very strong, and yeah, very confident. I think that's what stands out about Clin Baker's Doctor in Big Finish. Yeah, so like that. Yeah, and there's other positives. I like the scenery again in this story. I like the setting of this story, very good and very imaginative. And yes, some other good stuff. Musical score again is absolutely excellent. Now on to negatives of Juddon In Chains. Well, my first negative would be is that it's a rip-off of Smith and Jones. Yeah, much of a rip-off, as it pretty much copies the entire plot. A courtroom being taken to Mars by the Juddon, but in Victorian times. It's just really a copy of Smith and Jones, I think, Juddon In Chains, and that's why I don't like that element of this story. I think they could have gone for something a lot better and a lot more imaginative. Just go for your own ideas, whoever wrote this, Simon Banyard and Paul Morris. So yeah, if you write another Big Finish story, if you're watching this, please go with a more original idea. So yeah, any other negatives? I don't think so really. I just think at the beginning I don't really know what's going on until later when they explain it. So yeah, that's my review of Juddon In Chains. Now moving on to Harvest of the Sycorax. So yeah, now on to my review of Harvest of the Sycorax. But before I start, I just want to give Juddon In Chains an 8 out of 10. So yeah, Harvest of the Sycorax, starring Sylvester McCoy against the Sycorax. So yeah, we have the standard stuff at a Big Finish Audio. Then we have a Doctor, we have a Sycorax, we have a Sycorax ship there. Then we do have a flatline thing, whatever it's called. A pace reader, I think it's called. And then we have some glitches here, as it's all about technology and the Sycorax doing blood control. Yes, another rip-off. So yeah, we do have Doctor Who Harvest of the Sycorax. Then here is the back. So yeah, if you want to have a pause, there's the cast. And yeah, standard stuff. Then inside we do have the disc and the reversible cover. And then we do have the cast here with some information on stuff really, and the Doctor Who magazine. So yeah, Harvest of the Sycorax. What is the plot? So Harvest of the Sycorax. In the far future, humans are using these drugs, which stops moods, which stops emotions, and yeah, the Sycorax are behind all this. Another rip-off. It copies Gridlock with all the little pills they take, stopping emotions. So yeah, how many rip-offs are in this box set, I don't know. So yeah, these people are taking these pills, and then the Sycorax use blood control to control humanity. But luckily, the Doctor turns up and has an adventure with this woman and this other man who turns out to be a Sycorax alias. And yeah, stop the Sycorax, and that's basically it. Quite one-dimensional, the plot, and also quite a bit of a copy of both the Christmas Invasion and the Gridlock. So yeah, again, a copy. So many copy elements in this box set. That's what I don't like about this box set. No original ideas, really, until we get to the Sontaran Ordeal, when that takes a bit of an original turn. So Harvest of the Sycorax. Possibly my worst out of this box set. It's still good, still enjoyable elements of this story. It's just not amazing compared to the other stories. Positives would be, well, I like it that it's in the future, again, very imaginative, can imagine it very clearly. Scenery in this story seems very good. Yeah, like the Sycorax returning, very underrated Doctor Who monster. I think they will return in the future, however. And yeah, Sylvester McCoy in this story, again, has a great performance like Clin Baker, upped his game compared to the Sirens of Time way back in 1999. Much better performance in this. I can imagine he improved a lot over the years of Big Finish, his performance, as in the Sirens of Time, his Doctor wasn't very confident, but in this he is quite confident, I think. So yeah, now on to negatives. First negative, it is a rip-off of Gridlock and the Christmas Invasion. Another negative would be the Sycorax don't have much in this story, I don't think. They are very underused, they're just really there. They don't do much, they don't battle the Doctor, just very there in the background, don't do much at all really. Like the characters in this story, another positive. And yeah, that's basically it for Harvest of the Sycorax. Just another rip-off really, but I still enjoy it. That's what makes it good. Definitely recommend Classic Doctor's New Monsters if you want to get into Big Finish and Classic Who, as you are really taking a transition between New Who and Classic Who, as it's something really in between, as it features new monsters. Apart from now, onto my review of the Sontaran Ordeal. So the Sontaran Ordeal. standard stuff here. Then we do have the Doctor, the Soldier, the Dr. Fines, who I can't remember the name of, who talks exactly like Sarah Jane. So yeah, if they want to do Sarah Jane audios, cast her. Then we do have a Sontaran here. Then we do have the background, which is the fields of, what is the planet called? The planet is called Drakis. That's it. So yeah, the plot of the Sontaran Ordeal is just inside if you want to have a look. No reversible cover this time. And yeah, here's inside. And this 2-disc set. The second disc is a bonus feature disc. So yeah, I was talking about plot of the Sontaran Ordeal. So the Sontaran Ordeal, what is it about? So it takes place in the Time War, and the 8th Doctor is trying to stop the battle going to Drakis. However, the battle does sadly go to the peaceful planet of Drakis. Well, at least that's what it says in the history books. Really, Drakis is a planet which is always at war. So yeah, the Sontarans and probably Daleks attack this planet and destroy everything. Later, the Doctor wakes up, finds this wounded woman, and yeah, they find a Sontaran who has been in one of the crashes of the Battle of Drakis. And yes, this Sontaran is on ordeal, as he hasn't been good to the Sontarans. He's done a lot of bad things, so his punishment is he's not allowed weapons. This is something what happens later on in the story, as he has a gun here. And yeah, he's banished, really. So yes, the Sontaran tells this woman that the world could be reversed to its original state and basically everything could be over, as the Doctor is a Time Lord. The Doctor tells this woman that it's not true. Then basically whatever his name is takes the Doctor to the Sontaran mothership, wants to incinerate the Doctor to show that he's redeemed himself and is loyal to the Sontaran Empire and is willing enough to kill the arch enemy of the Sontarans, the Doctor, so he's allowed back in the fleet. So yeah, doesn't succeed with that. They stop the Sontarans, and then the Doctor takes this woman back to the secondary world. And yes, she disobeys the Doctor, as she knows what the Doctor says, that the planet is going to be okay, isn't, because the Sontaran told her that a time war will destroy all planets and all life. So yeah, she's not happy with the Doctor because the Doctor lied to her. So yeah, that's the plot of the Sontaran Ordeal. Now on to positives of the Sontaran Ordeal. So the Sontaran Ordeal, the first positive would be, is again, it is very imaginative. I can get the picture of what the story is like. Another positive would be is it takes place in the Time War. I love those two anthology stories. They're very good. Love learning more about the Time War, Gallifrey, the Doctor's past. Very good indeed. And yeah, like the battle side of it, positive would be that it's an original idea compared to the other classic Doctors, New Monsters. It's a very original idea, so I like that about this story. Like this character, very strong character. Talks a lot like Sarah Jane Smith, as I said earlier on in this video, so if Big Finish are planning on doing Sarah Jane audios, go with this woman, as she talks pretty much exactly like her, I think. When I was listening to her, I visioned Sarah Jane Smith rather than this woman, as I didn't look at the cover to start with, so I didn't know what she looked like. So my initial thoughts is she was Sarah Jane Smith. She looked like her as she talked like her. And yeah, negatives. Well, the first negative would be a very obvious negative, something loads of people have pointed out, that the Sontarans are both a new villain and a classic villain. So what are they doing? Classic Doctors, new monsters. Yes, they are a new monster, But I think when Classic Doctor's New Monsters was announced, people were expecting purely classic monsters, such as, modern monsters, such as the Sycorax, the Juddon, the Weeping Angels, the Handbots, even though no one cares about them really. And yeah, monsters which are only in New Who, but the Sontarans are in both the classic era and the modern era, so I don't know what they're doing in Classic Doctor's New Monsters. And also, is Paul McGann really a Classic Doctor? I would class him as something in between Classic Who and New Who, in my opinion. So yeah, they are my positives and negatives about the Sontaran Ordeal. Now onto my overall thoughts about Classic Doctor's New Monsters. So personally, I think Classic Doctor's New Monsters is an excellent box set. All of the audios are over an 8 out of 10, as it is a very good set indeed. Really like it, the dynamic between the Classic Doctor's New Monsters. Don't like the dynamic that most of the stories are a rip-off of New Who stories. Don't like the Sontarans in it, really. I like the Sontarans in it, but I don't like why they are in it, really, as they are not a New Who villain. Completely. So yeah, that is my review of Classic Doctor's New Monsters. I would strongly recommend getting this set, and thank you for watching this video, if you got this far, that is. So yeah, until the next time, goodbye. Don't forget to click below and subscribe to YouTube Gallifrey 02.